Battlefield 5 has been delayed. The news has just been announced officially by EA and DICE on their websites and social media channels, and the delay is going to be for roughly a month, meaning that the game will now launch on November 20th instead of October 19th. It looks like that this will not affect the open beta. That will still go ahead as planned, beginning in early access on September the 4th. Wow, okay, big news. So what are the ramifications of this delay then? Considering that the delay is only a month, well, based on the wording of the article, you would assume that DICE feel like they need more time to deliver on a solid core experience upon the launch of the game. So before I get into this, I just wanted to ask, what are your guys' initial impressions and reactions to this? Let me know down in the comments below. So my take on it, there are good things and bad things here. And I'm going to start with the positives. Overall, I think it's a good call to delay the game for a bit. In the Gamescom build, although it was an older build of the game, as I noted in my previous video, it was evident that there were a few bugs in there, most notably with the server-side ragdolls. However, I think another element to this is that it could be to do with a lot of features that were seemingly missing from the game that have already been announced. Stuff like dragging bodies or vehicle customization, for example. Perhaps I'm wrong and this stuff is just coming after the launch of the game and always was. If that's the case, then it wasn't communicated very well. But this delay could give the team at DICE a chance to polish those features and get them in the game working well before launch day, therefore leading to a game that's got more unique and interesting content in it. Another plus is that DICE absolutely do not want to repeat the mistakes of the past and previous game title launches like BF4, with crashes and server outages. That would be a big misstep and catastrophic for Battlefield 5. So I can understand why they would want to get this right and have a super smooth launch. Hopefully this delay is going to allow for that. During my time playing the game in alpha and beta, I didn't have any crashes or big performance issues, but when you're talking about a full complete game client and day one launch problems and numbers, it can be very difficult at times to get it right and a completely different story. So it's on DICE and EA to perform here. This delay might mean a smooth launch, and as Shigeru Miyamoto said, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rush game is bad forever. Excellent advice there. Another positive I see to this, if we're talking about how well the game could potentially perform, is that if it moves to November, it won't be competing directly with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Two massive games that will inevitably sell millions of copies and take cash from your precious wallets. The original release date for BF5 had it sandwiched between these two games. Not good. And analysts have been predicting that it might get Titanfall 2'd, that's a technical term for being released in the week after and before two huge other game releases. So with the game moving to November, it doesn't have much competition really. The only big game release that I can see in November is Fallout 76, and I don't think that that has much crossover with the Battlefield target audience anyway. So now the game launches in November, less big games equals more space on the shelves in the stores, more space for advertising on billboards, on YouTube, on TV, and more sponsored activations and streams on Twitch. This means more potential sales, which hopefully translates in the long run to more and better post-launch content in the live service. Whether that comes to fruition though, well, that remains to be seen of course, and is an uncertainty at the moment. And finally, I have to say this, another positive is for the people that are working at the game studio at DICE. This will put less pressure on them and hopefully they can avoid the grind or crunch time as it's known in the industry, where you're working very late hours and becoming stressed, trying to get everything done and wrapped up before the game goes gold. There are people behind video games that work on these products, and often we can forget that. So this could mean a much better and relaxed work environment for the people who are developing the game. Now then, onto the negatives of this announcement, because there are quite clearly some bad implications here. Some people will view this as DICE and EA having no confidence in their product, or perhaps even being knee-jerk and reactionary. they'll be thinking, is there enough content in the game? Does it work right? Will it even be stable, etc, etc. Thoughts like that are unavoidable from gamers and Battlefield fans when they hear a delay, because a lot of these guys are already quite unsure about BF5 as a product at the moment, because the marketing for the game has been very bad so far. In my opinion, the real problem is that not enough raw gameplay was shown at reveal or EA Play. People didn't know what this game was really like. The reveal trailer was a messy and confusing cinematic that focused way too much on customization and was too far off the mark of what core Battlefield fans perceive as a mainline Battlefield game. More importantly, the detail that we want to know about new and interesting core gameplay mechanics was left out, and that responsibility fell to content creators and the press to talk about from behind the scenes private streams. That shouldn't have been the case, so stuff like how the new gunplay works, building fortifications, vehicle towing, buddy revives, visual only suppression, gun customization, dragging soldiers. The detailed information about those things should have been front and center at reveal and EA Play when the whole world was watching. The developers should have been on the stage talking passionately about the game. It shouldn't need to be revealed by third parties, and that was a big misstep by EA and DICE. The consequences of that are that this delay is only going to compound and confirm that negativity for some people, and it's going to lead to disinterest in the game and cancelled pre-orders. It's going to bring with it a lot of bad publicity and YouTube videos along with it. Those are the facts, and I'm sure that some people will even question, is a month enough time for a delay? If they're going to delay the game, why not make it meaningful and do 2 months or 3 months and get the job done properly? You're going to hear that, I can guarantee it. It all depends on the context of this delay. Why did DICE really want to do this? So hopefully they will make that clear. Visibility, honesty and transparency about this delay is really important right now, and DICE and EA need to be completely open about this and why they've done it. If they can release some sort of a roadmap as well that details exactly what's going to be in at launch, what features and what's coming later on in the live service, I think that would really appease people and just give us some information about exactly what the product is going to be when it launches. The lack of gameplay thing having a negative impact on the perception of the game is really interesting to me too, because I think it's an obvious thing to have in your marketing. Gamers want to see gameplay. We're not stupid. The bullshot trailer or cinematic just doesn't appeal to most people. But what I do find incredibly interesting is that after the flood of early access beta gameplay released yesterday on YouTube, I personally have seen a massive increase in positive comments about the game online. On Twitter, Reddit, YouTube comments, streams on Twitch, now that people have seen more gameplay on another map and they've got to look at more guns and mechanics and a lot of the changes that the community have asked for in Battlefield, they're hyped again. Oh, this actually looks pretty good. The question is though, has the damage already been done and is it irreversible? We shall see. Ultimately, in my opinion, this delay, I think it's 99% positive and the right thing to do for the game. As a Battlefield fan, I would rather wait a month and have a game that's working correctly at launch than one that isn't. And perhaps this delay means that we could get more features at launch too, or it gives DICE an opportunity to better plan and structure post-launch content so it's more regular and of a higher quality. And that's about it really. November 20th, 2018, that's the new release date for BF5. And I really want to know, what do you guys think about this? Be completely open and honest in the comments section. I'll be reading the comments and I might do a follow-up video based on some of the best comments that I read and see. I think it's going to be a very polarizing reaction, although you never really know with these things. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer for the game, but that could mean a better product. Only time will tell if that's the case though. And of course, as I said earlier in the video, this does not affect the open beta. Anyone can jump in and download that for free, and it's going to be on PC, PS4 and Xbox, so you can try out the game for free and then, you know, make your own mind up. Is this a game that you think you're going to enjoy? Is it a game that you think deserves your $60 or whatever the price is that you end up paying for it? That'll be a chance to try the game for yourself and get a feel for the gameplay instead of just watching it on YouTube on channels like mine and others. So if you're on the fence, get the open beta when it's out in September, play it for a few hours and make your own mind up then. And that's all for today, guys. Give me a like if you liked the video, a dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and I'll see you in the next one.